Good morning, everybody. Lucy is back from her trip, and we're back to our normal Friday live this week. Last week, I had Reno and Heather on while you were gone. We did a Friday live, but we talked about Walmart um, last week. So, since I'm just getting launched into the Walmart marketplace, some of our viewers are already on Walmart or are trying to get into Walmart, especially with Amazon's deactivation spree that they've been on. They have had two more waves of deactivations, from my understanding. And I don't think people should live in fear of deactivations, but we all know it's possible, even to the best of sellers. Um, I think we should use these as opportunities to always keep your guard up to have your other income streams in place while still doing Amazon. So you have them in your back pocket. Good morning, Nate, Reno, and Sherry. Thank you guys for being here with us already this morning. And Nate, I do hope you're feeling better by those emojis in the comment section here. I would assume you're feeling better and have a hearty, hungry appetite this morning and you're eating while watching.
Yes, I made it back into town yesterday. I think I got everything pulled for our show today now. Um, and yeah, still a little jet lagged. I was up at 2, 3 this morning. Went back to bed for a little bit, trying to get back on normal schedule here. I saw you had some videos. I have that on my queue to watch later, see what you were putting out, especially about Walmart, because we've both been playing around with that recently.
Yeah, so for those that didn't watch a couple weeks ago when Lucy was on, she was gone for about 2 weeks in Rome and had a really great vacation. So I got to see some of her pictures yesterday. Really exciting, and I'm happy for you.
Yes, it was epic, and we had been, for those that maybe don't know, we had been planning this trip for a very, very, very long time. When we first got married, we had discussed doing Europe at some point, and then it was going to be our 10-year, then our 15, then our 20, then COVID hit, and then my son graduated, and anyhow, we locked it down this year, did Italy, spent half the time, 6 days in Rome, and then about 4 days in southern Italy, where there is a town my husband's great grandparents are from. So there's a museum that features some of the articles of clothing and their passports in it, in this little town out of nowhere. So it was really cool to see the history. My husband's he's got two family members that stem from that town, but on the other side, we also stayed in the Jewish ghetto, and he's got his grandmother survived, one of 162 people from her village that survived Auschwitz. So it was surreal living through so much history for the last couple of weeks, and now we're back to the grind. And at least I brought home coffee, so I'm drinking some Italian coffee right now, which is good. We were spoiled in the coffee and pastries. We ate very well for 2 weeks and a lot, and we sweated and walked around it was very hot this time of year.
And it was nice to get to take a break from thinking about online selling, and
Mm-hmm.
life was always like a vacation.
It was fun, but we've got a couple of things to bring up today. Did you have a particular order in which way
Nope,
you wanted to do?
nope.
All right. We'll talk about compliance documents first then, because that's what I have on my page. Go ahead and share the screen. Could have done that earlier. Okay. So first, hello Nate and Reno and Sherry and Casey down there. I wanted to go over this one. I saw it while I was a couple of days ago. It seems like it was more than one day ago, but because we talked yesterday, it says
We
1 day
talked
ago.
yesterday about it. I think it was just posted yesterday.
Okay. So this one, we were talking about it earlier, and I'll read it verbatim, and then we can talk about it. We got suspended today for wrong compliance documents. It's a toy, and there are two listings for the same item. The same compliance was uploaded on both. One got approved, the other rejected. For the rejected one, Amazon closed our 20-year-old account saying the document is forged. We don't manufacture these toys. We use the same test documents that were given to us by the vendor. How are we supposed to know that they are accurate or not? If they are not, just block the listing. How can you block my entire 20 years worth of efforts for one wrong compliance document of one toy? How can anyone rely on Amazon these days if they can destroy a business based on the whims and their fancies? And that seems to be the theme this last summer, is they have just been shutting down accounts left and right for all sorts of reasons. Some make sense, some don't. So Tina and I were speculating on how and what they submitted that would have flagged the Amazon system. And for me, this is how I took it. It sounded like they're buying things from an Alibaba-esque manufacturer that are toys. And when you do toys, even if it's from China and the manufacturer, you are responsible for getting toy compliance documents. These toy compliance documents say that the toy has been tested and doesn't have things like lead, that if a kid chews on the edge of it, they're not going to get lead poisoning or any other chemicals or issues with said toy. That testing can run several $1,000s. It's not cheap. So your manufacturer in China, that's Alibaba-esque, that's selling you some little toy doodad for, a nickel, is not going to cough up that kind of money to do this type of testing for you. You have to go out to a third-party testing center. I have a couple in my file of recommended, sites that are good for this and whatnot. And you also have to do like inspections and stuff if you're going to go that route of PL from China. And I don't understand why they had two listings for the same item. That doesn't make sense, because you're not supposed to have two listings for the same item. I don't know if it was like a big doodad and a small doodad, or like a single.
I was thinking it was a single and maybe a multi-pack of the same item. And I didn't get a chance to read the comments. Maybe people asked those questions and there were answers to those things. I do know that I was selling a toy several years ago, a brand name toy from the US, and I was buying it directly from that toy's the company. And I had to get compliance documents because Amazon was requiring them for that toy, which surprised me because this toy company was also selling their own toy. So I would have assumed that Amazon already had that from them. But I had to ask them, can I please have that? Amazon's requiring it. They did give it to me. Luckily, I had a direct wholesale buying account with this company. It wasn't like I got it at Walmart. So I was able to obtain it, upload it, and everything was fine with the world. Now, of course, that wasn't today. That was about 4 years ago. So toy compliance paperwork is nothing new to any of us. We all know about it. We all know it exists and that they want it. But, if they did buy it and get it from a manufacturer, like my situation was, then I call, Amazon bots shutting down someone's account unfairly.
Yes. The only thing I saw here was they're looking for the safety testing or CPSIA compliance testing that is in Amazon's service provider network. So you have to have something that's vetted. A lot of people don't understand that with Amazon. Your suppliers, your wholesalers, your testing places, they all have to be vetted. Like, you cannot, let's say I go to Alibaba and I buy some Hasbro My Little Pony toys. They're fake. I'll tell you right now, they're fake. And if you present an invoice to Amazon that's an Alibaba manufacturer, they will reject it because Alibaba is not a recognized, reputable distributor. So that's where, we get into arguments with people because they say, well, I bought it and I put it under my own brand, and that's fine. But that's the only way you're going to be able to do PL from Alibaba is if it's under your own brand.
You still got to fork over the money to have it tested and do it at an independent lab and get your documents. And that's why with that poster's question, I was under the impression that it was a toy that they were acquiring maybe wholesale here in the US, that they got the compliance paperwork. And when it's not your brand and it's another company's brand and that company gives you that paperwork, I do feel for them. I don't think it's fair that you're shut down by providing them paperwork that the company you got it from supplied it, from that brand. So I guess there is definitely a gray area in their question.
Last year, I did a bundle with what do you call it? A pencil case, and I was able to get the toy compliance paperwork, the compliance paperwork for that from the manufacturer here in the US. And you can always email your representative and make sure that you can get said paperwork before you make your purchase. That's kind of something you want to do. Anyhow, it took several submittals to get it pushed through, but I did get it uploaded. There's a spot in Amazon where you can go and upload hazmat, MSDS's, all that compliance paperwork. But it took a minute. It's not the easiest thing. So a lot of people are staying away from that kind of stuff as we are going into back to school. Back to school season's about over though, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
My kids don't start for another 2 weeks, but I think a lot of everybody else is
Yeah, it just seems like Amazon lately has, even though there's a lot of bad actors still out there that are just flying under the radar, Amazon does seem to be having this zero tolerance policy with things, where there's no reasoning with Amazon where there should be. It's like you're guilty right away without,
Yeah. It's been crazy hearing everybody's stories. Unfortunate, but everybody's working on it. So speaking along that line, who's this? That's my neighbor that picked up. We're decluttering in the house. Different sidebar here, but we're decluttering in the house. So I'm getting rid of things and messaging people, trying to get people to pick up stuff. I wish they'd pick up on time. I hate dealing with. I know you're doing eBay, and I like eBay. eBay customers are not that bad, but Facebook Marketplace and Facebook people are like the worst. I get 1 in 10 will actually show up to get stuff, and I'm like, it's free. Just giving stuff away that I want out of my house. And anyhow, sidebar. This was posted in Amazon Seller Performance Suspension Right Owners Legal Issues, ASGTG, short. And what it is there is this guy, Spencer Soper, and he's an e-commerce reporter from Bloomberg News. That's his information if you want to stop and get it, SSOPER@bloomberg.net. And what he wants is anybody who has been deactivated, you can share this information with them. You can try and be anonymous if you want, or create another email if you don't want them knowing your work business email. He's trying to get Amazon suspension stories. So anybody who has been suspended, he's trying to gather these up to, I don't know what he's going to do with them. Maybe
I'm sure he's going to do investigative reporting on it.
Yeah, try to see what's going on. I have not decided whether I'm going to reach out or not. I gotta dive back in now that I'm back from.
You have to clear vacation brain.
Yes, I'm trying to get the coffee in. Do you think you're going to write to him?
Yes, I'm going to.
That was a quick answer there, Tina. You were like already there. All right. We wanted to show Chuck's video, but I don't know if I can get the sound to play. Are you ready for that one?
Yeah, because I thought this was really cool for those that aren't in the Facebook group, or even if you are and you're like me and don't really scroll through Facebook. On a rare occasion, I do. You a lot of times miss things, and I thought this was such a cool scale. I don't know how much it is, but I love it.
It is a Dymo M25 automatic scale for VQ. I think if I do that, I get sound. Let's see if that does. Is there any sound? No, because I've muted Facebook. Hold on. I think if I unmute. There we go.
We don't hear it, just so you know.
Oh, you don't hear it at all?
I can't hear it.
Sorry. I don't. Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear it. But and it could just be the volume isn't up high enough.
I don't know. It's pretty loud in my office, but
Oh, okay.
he's going in, and all you have to do is hit the little button, and it will take the scale information and plug it in and do all the labeling.
Yeah. So
So
when you are doing your postal scale, and I think he's using what is he using for his shipping
VQ,
label? VQ.
VEQO.
Right. So a lot of people have an account with them. I see it's linked up with Amazon because it always pops up when I'm in the back end of Amazon on a banner bar to use it. A lot of Walmart sellers use it. So you like plug it into the computer. When you weigh your package, it automatically sends that into the platform. So you don't have to then manually type in your weight. It just plugs it in. Now, I don't believe it can do the dimensions of the box though.
No, you still
Yeah.
have to do the dimensions of the
Yeah,
box.
which would be cool. Like, but it's like, how would that be possible? So yeah, it just made it like it's so quick. You just put it on the scale and bam, all that information is entered in to purchase your shipping label. So I thought it was really cool. I did do a quick Google search and I saw, just on a search result, you can buy it for $65. And I saw one on eBay for like $25. So if anyone was interested in one of those scales, I thought it was really cool. And Reno mentioned yesterday and here that he uses that scale with his shipping software. So what shipping software do you use, or is it the same that VCO one, VQ?
I think Reno uses VQ. Pretty sure.
I want to call it VCO so badly.
We can call it whatever we want. It's not going to come after us.
Yeah, I love his setup. I love his shipping station.
The OCD in me is just like, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I really am thinking about copying him. I was looking at it last night and I was like, oh, this looks so pretty. I really want to redo my station at work now because I gotta go. I have what did I even call it? I have like 15, 20 packages, even though I was on vacation, but I got to ship them out today. So I got to go in the office for eBay. And I really want to redo my thing.
Yeah, I like the way it's in his garage, you can tell, but I like the way he has that pegboard and put in the little pegs and how his Dymo printers are up off of the table.
Yeah, I don't know how
I really liked that. Yeah. And then Nate would like to know, does it work with Pirate Ship? So, Reno, if you have ever used it with Pirate Ship, if you could comment on that. I was wondering the same thing too. I look, we're all about saving time, right? It's like, how lazy are we that we can put a package on a box, see it's 1 pound, and that we love efficiency so much that we'd rather have our scale tell our computer it's 1 pound, 8 ounces rather than have to go over here 1, 8. But look,
you're doing several a day. It does.
The efficiency adds up. I know, but that's so funny.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let me test it. Okay.
I don't
think it does, but it might. It might. Things are changing. This was not around 10 years ago. It was not around. So, there's always new stuff happening. Every year it seems like there's something new coming out. I'm looking at my list of what we're talking about today. So I have here to talk about parent title structure. So if you are making listings on Amazon, I had a long talk and I don't, at the end of the talk, I kind of felt like they left me in the gray area, but it's on parent-child titles. So for a client, what had happened was he had a parent title that was just stupid. I don't know what. He doesn't listen to this, thank God. But I don't know who he didn't create it. Somebody else created it before my time. I've been working for him now a couple of years. Anywho, it was something like if you had Post-it notes and his title for his parent was like blue Post-it notes, and then the variations were like pink Post-it notes and yellow Post-it notes. They got upset and had the parent-child violations, and they actually took down the whole listing. So I had to get rid of the parent. So if you do run in this, the first thing you do is you delete the parent. It will break off all the children and it will clear up those violations. You don't have to. I don't remember if I had to go in and appeal each one or if it automatically fell off. Sometimes it automatically falls off. So I always wait 24 hours, see if it falls off automatically on the account health dashboard, or if I have to go in and hit appeal on each one. anyhow, so I had a long talk at that point with Account Health and said, well, how do I title the stuff? And they said, well, you got to have something like 5-pack of Post-it notes, being the parent, and each child is going to say 5-pack of Post-it notes -blue, -pink, -yellow, whatever. All right. So I'm busy restructuring like 3 major parent-child things, which is taking forever because I have to flat file it and pull all the information, because once you start flat filing, you will lose each individual description, and sometimes you lose A+ content, and sometimes you lose bullet points, which is lovely. I'm like, why can't, anyhow. So the guy was like, I don't like that. I wanted to say blue Post-it notes at the front instead of blue at the back end. And when I talked to the guy yesterday, he said as long as the rest of the title is all formatted right, there's not anything all in capitalizations, punctuation is correct, there's no other, he said don't use other little characters like the and, not the and, but there's other little characters you can't use in the title. And I had to take out emojis. So see how I have like little flowers on my name here? You can't have little flowers in your bullet points emojis. I had to take those out. So anyhow, he said I am allowed to structure it blue Post-it notes 5-pack instead of 5-pack of Post-it notes -blue, because he's thinking that that's why the SEO is down this month, which I don't know if that's driving it or not. His listings are so messed up. There's a lot of things that can contribute to it that I am fixing. Anyhow, I was like, okay, great. So I can title it either way, and I'm within compliance on the policies. And the guy's like, yes, you are. I said, can I get that in writing that either way is good? And he goes, no, we can't do that. I can send you the links to the policy pages. And I said, well, I don't need the links to the policy pages. I need your say that this is good, so that if the listing goes down for parent-child violations, that I have your blessing from the catalog team that it was titled, that I have the okay, that the title is okay to do it this way. I gave him a very specific example. No, we can't do that. The best I can do is give you the links to how to structure policy. So I'm like, and then he says, well, this is the catalog team, and I can only tell you about how to structure your titles and verify that it looks like you did it right. And then the Account Health team, he goes, that's a completely different team, and we don't talk to them. And so they may have a
different feeling. Yeah. And this is the frustrating thing with Amazon. In fact, somebody's deactivation is because of this very reason, because of changing and structuring titles. Mm-hmm. The catalog team told them to do it this way. They did it that way. Their account got deactivated, and Account Health team told them to have the catalog team tell us that they helped you do it that way. They referred them to his case log with the catalog team showing that it did, but Amazon is not accepting his roll of the dice. And so, it's scary making any changes in Amazon these days. And all of this stuff is real. Like, this is really what's going on right now with Amazon. Everything that we've always known to be true, that should be very easy, has been very, very easy, especially when we're reasonable sellers calling in, doing the right thing. It's just like everything is a mystery anymore with Amazon.
Yeah. Nate says plausible deniability.
Yeah. And exactly. And you're trying to do the right thing by your client and make sure you don't put his account at risk by doing the changes he's asking you to do.
Right. Because that's what I said. He emailed me, and it was like 3 days before we were leaving Rome. And I'm like, well, I'll call on Thursday and double check, because I don't want to make this change and have it go bad. So they make it up on the fly. Isn't that the truth?
Amen.
They make it up on the fly. So I told him this. I told the catalog team guy this yesterday. And he says, if they have a problem, then refer to the case number. So now I got to log the case number in my extensive notes for the possibility that in 2 months' time, they might take it down or have a problem with it because we've restructured the titles differently than what they are. Anyhow, I also need to go and work on this more later today, but yeah, I'm getting ready to put them all in on a parent. And so when you do that, just if you're ever doing this, you got to link the GTIN code, not the ASIN, otherwise you lose the ability to change that later, which is another little tidbit I found out the hard way. Hey, I found that scale. Is this what I couldn't copy and paste your
Yes,
thing,
yeah.
but it's $55.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I don't know why. Oh, because I'm on the other end. I can't copy and paste your link. I have to be like a watcher.
Oh yeah, I just put it in the chat. I put a link in there that I snagged off of Amazon. I was going to say why you probably already closed that tab down, but does it say what shipping softwares it's compatible with?
Oh no, I don't close my tabs immediately like you do.
I know I'm the worst about that.
Tina's so bad at that.
Because I already have like 8 billion tabs open at all times. So I'm like, okay, this one's not as important. But I was curious if it talked about compatibility to what shipping platforms.
I don't see it.
I think
here's the fine print. Dymo, 25 pounds, LCD screen.
I don't see any, they're not dropping any names. Sometimes in the comments section, people maybe do. But hey, we've got Reno and Chuck to test it for us and tell us.
Oh, Reno says it does not work with Pirate Ship. So there you go.
There we go.
All right. We have good testers there. That is for real. Talk about. Okay, hold on.
Google search.
And then I have on here. I don't know if you want to talk about it here, but I'm going to be asking you about G10 exemption for Walmart. Did you talk about that in any of your shows? I'll just go watch.
I did. I talked it because I just started the process on Wednesday. I got an email back yesterday. They want some more information for getting my G10 exemption. But yesterday I was very focused. I do tasks by day. So today that'll fall under my Finance Friday. When I do paperwork, I do like my regular bills, my finances, see where I'm at with my numbers, sell-through rate, all the things for business, personal bills. But then what I also do on Finance Friday is any phone calls, emails that I have to get back to, things like that. I lump all of that kind of work together today. So today I will be replying to my Walmart case for this G10 exemption. They were wanting a link to my website. What I gave them was a link to my Amazon listing, which I was told should suffice them. And I did that at the time I set up for this G10 exemption. So I think it's a little bit like Amazon, where it's like, did you read the case? I already gave you this information. So I'm going to do that today. When I get around to answering that email, I can video call you and let you see what I'm doing. But yeah, so all I did was the application for it, and they're waiting for me to reply to that again.
Don't you love how they don't read things? That was my first complaint with the guy yesterday on Catalog Health. He's like, could you explain to me what the problem is and what you've done about it? And I said, well, my notes say, I'm working on title structure, and I have an example A and example B. Which way can I do? Can I do it the B way? Well, explain to me a little bit more. I said, did you read it? No. Just explain it to me. Why do I write it down for you then? It wasn't very long. It's not like I wrote you a book.
And the great thing, as far as going back to my G10 exemption request with Walmart, it is allowable. Okay. Because my onboarding specialist told me that it was. And when you are a newer Walmart seller and you have your onboarding person, you have access to them for 90 days. She currently was at the big Walmart conference in San Francisco, I believe is where it's at. And so I knew she was going to be out of the office. When you have your onboarding person and you're doing these tasks, you can directly email them and ask them for help. So she said, once I open those cases, if I'm not getting anywhere, message her, because she can go in there and she can get it to push and get things rolling and work along with me to get that done. So I did send her an email letting her know. I gave her my case number. I am going to go ahead and respond to it because they only give you 5 days to reply. It states that in the message. So if I can't get it fixed on my own or figured out on my own, then once she gets back, I'll have her reaching out to help me. but because of that, I'm definitely going to learn how to do these things and be able to pass on that information for those interested. And all of that type of stuff is every other week, I'm doing a show dedicated just to the Walmart selling experience and how it's going, what I'm doing as I learn it.
So sounds good. I looked up if you're doing print on demand, which I've done Printful integration into Walmart before. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you?
Hi, Kim.
If you're doing print on demand, Printful offers a good how to request it, but it's basically, like you said, open up a case, and then you need to explain to them, ensure that you mention Printful and made to order so Walmart knows that you're a print on demand provider. So that doesn't help most of us. Over here, I found this one from support at Geekseller. Let's see here. It says that you need to submit a ticket explaining your circumstances. There's no guarantee. So what did you put that your reason was for needing exemption?
Well, my particular item is a private label item that I have made here in the US. And I have an invoice from my manufacturer that makes them. And my reasoning is because I never purchased a UPC code for this private label item. And of course, the manufacturer doesn't put one on it since it is, in fact, a private label item. So that is my reasoning. And I could show that I have been selling it for several years through the Amazon listing for the item. It is a custom bundle, if you will. And so there are several items in this package, all made by the same company, so it's not various brands. I'm not mixing it with other name brands. I didn't like go into details like that, but that is the reason why I'm accepting or asking for a G10 exemption. If it is not approved, then I will just have to go onto GS1 database and buy a G10, and that is fine with me. The reason I like making listings without UPC codes of items that are my custom bundles or items that are private label items is that when you make a lot of them like I do, those $30 charges for a UPC code for every single one, that can really add up. And let's face it, when we do a private label item or when we do a custom bundle, generally that first time you make it, you don't know if it's going to sell. You've done your best research. You've based it off of similar comps or similar experience, but not all of my listings and bundles are successful. And so, I go wide on bundles and I have my ones that really stick and do well. And that can get very costly to have to constantly be buying barcodes. And so if I can get a G10 exemption, well, then by all means, I want it. And so for me, it's worth the effort.
The other thing a lot of people don't know, or I'm surprised that don't know from Fiverr gigs, is that your barcode will expire yearly. So you have to pay for an update to keep that barcode active.
That's correct.
You can't just buy it and then in like 2 years go and use it. I had that happen. A couple people, they're like, "Oh yeah, I bought a barcode about a year and a half ago. It should still be good." And I'm like, "No, it goes back. It gets recycled."
That's right. And I had mentioned that on a video this last week when you were gone about that very thing about barcodes, how you have to renew them every year. And what is surprising to me is I have bought barcodes and used them on products. And I got my renewal notice from GS1. And so I'm thinking, how did they miss the renewal notice email from them? Did it go maybe to a spam folder? Because you get a renewal notice, that you have to pay this again. So yeah, they cost you every year. It's like, renewing either a business license, a driver's license,
Yeah. Well, and that's what I run into with Bath and Body Works stuff when they constantly get new barcodes. So, if you're selling whatever scent this year, and let's say in 2 years they discontinue the scent and then they bring the scent back, it's going to be under a different barcode because they're constantly changing over the barcode.
Yeah.
And they drop it as soon as they're done with their run of manufacturing. They drop it, so it will not match up. That's why you can't make new listings for Bath and Body Works stuff very well, because you can't use the barcodes. It's not going to show up when you do a GS1 database.
That's right. So when it doesn't renew, it kind of goes back in the pool eventually.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. All right. I was just poking
Good.
around here. Do you know if you can buy from the cheaper sites, or is that just a
I think with Walmart, you can. Walmart, I have noticed, is like Amazon was in the old days. There's a lot more leniencies.
yeah,
But I do know that GS1 is the only true recognized official
yeah,
company for buying barcodes.
yeah.
So,
I see one.
it it's really know your risks and what you can and can't do, and choose accordingly.
Yeah, I see on the Reddit thread it says best to go to GS1 if you are
Yeah.
serious. But yeah, I don't know. I had a whole bunch at one point, but they're all expired now. I will try for the GS1 exemption as well. I'm just trying to figure out what my reasoning would be. So I'm wondering if they allow, like, if I say I'm going to bundle things together, if
You
they
are
allow.
allowed to bundle according to my onboarding. You are allowed to bundle. They even offer virtual bundles, which I didn't realize. So, and Amazon does that. Since I never
Yeah.
did virtual bundles, I didn't dive into what that is, or how you do that, because all the information I was getting was for what I needed for my little beginner brain where I'm at, and relaying a lot of things back to Amazon, and she's accustomed, my gal is accustomed to having, current or former Amazon sellers. And what I like about Walmart is you get somebody from the United States talking to you. My girl was in Texas, and we're doing a video conference call, like how you and I are right now, and so communication wasn't an issue, because we were both American, and so I do like the customer service so far with Walmart.
Millennial Money Mom asks, I'm not familiar with a virtual bundle. Do you have an example?
I
I
don't,
don't.
because I didn't dive into it. Virtual bundle on Amazon, yes, if that's
I
what you mean. Yeah.
so I have done virtual bundles on Amazon, and I don't have an example right now. I can't remember the brand that I was working with, but it was what it was like a protein powder type thing, and they had different flavors. Let's just say strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. And so they had the single listings. You had chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, and the virtual bundle. They had to do it through their brand registry and create the bundle. And you basically said, what do you want to do? And they grouped up like chocolate and vanilla and strawberry and all three together. And what Amazon does is they pull most of the information from your main listing, and you only get one little box of blurpiness to put for the bundled item. And it looks a little bit different from the customer standpoint too, but it was really easy to do. It was extremely simple. It'd take me a long time to try and hunt one down because they're kind of hard to find if you just are randomly searching Amazon. But it was fairly easy to do. You do have to be brand registered and have the products there. If the products are not in stock, you cannot make the virtual bundle, which was kind of a downer with that.
And then some people do print on demand on Amazon, and maybe they're selling, best dad on a shirt, best mom, and then greatest kid. So these are all separate listings. Well, they can bundle these print on demand t-shirts and like family packs together. You can do things like that on Amazon. Now with that, I don't know if you have to be brand registered to do virtual bundles for print on demand things, because I never did it. So I don't know.
Are you talking about merch by Amazon or doing a print on demand and doing the handmade when you're
I don't know. I just know that I watched a YouTube video about 3 years ago. It was like this little seminar on how you can do that. And it was for people who were doing the merch, Amazon merch.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that make the t-shirts for the Amazon merch, and they could make them as custom bundles because they're for sale on Amazon. So they could do these virtual bundles with their merch accounts.
I have a merch by Amazon account, and I have a shirt that sells well in Germany. So every month I get a stipend from my German shirts, which is Amazon. Let me type it in and see if we can.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people I have. KDP with Amazon for books, and I do merch Amazon. I know that there's a lot of people dedicated to doing that, but for some reason I don't hear as much about it like I used to. I loved it and I love getting royalty money from it, but my royalty money is very low for the year because I
Oh,
make money off of shirts that I made like 8, 9 years ago, books I made years ago. There was a finance book I made that every year right before back to school I sell a bunch of them, and then they're kind of crickets. But I do get these royalty checks. I make, I want to say at the end of the year, just shy of $1,000 on all of that put together. It's not much because this is stuff I did years ago I never kept up with it. But if you do, I love the thought of making residual money on something that I did one time. And what happens is that you can't make that money fast enough to pay the bills. So listing on Amazon always became the priority, and I never spent enough time making the shirts. But if I would put the time into it and even make one shirt or one book a week and add that on, I could have thousands of them by now, if I had made that a priority. And it is really nice because you make it once and you're done. It's not like a replin where you have to keep going out and getting more of those books or keep getting more of those t-shirts. You don't even have to pre-buy the t-shirts because it's a print on demand. And I love that. And you just get your royalty check month after month if your item sells, and you're not charged a fee if they don't. There's no long-term storage fee. There's no fee for having this listing up that never makes a sale. So it's actually a really great and smart business plan, if you ask me. So maybe this pep talk will encourage my own self to get back into doing some of that and get loading up some books and shirts.
I am not seeing virtual bundles for the merch on demand, but I do see the virtual bundles for physical items that are at the FBA centers. Not to say that isn't, I'd have to log into my merch account
Yeah,
and dive in, see if it's there or not, because I know they've done a lot of different updates on
things.
what
Yeah.
they, the login screen is different than when I started it. Eminem says she wants to start
Start KDP.
KDP, and Nate does KDP. I would love to do KDP, but again, I got a lot of fish to fry right now.
I know that's the way I feel right now. I have a lot of things going on, but now I'm definitely considering getting back into it. I have all the software and the tools to do it. I have always been a big fan of Catherine Shelton. She has long left the eBay and Amazon space, which is how I first found her. She was big in eBay, big YouTuber on eBay, but she has amazing course and resources for how to do books. There are others out there. She just happened to have been my favorite, and I have followed her for years and years.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. All right. Did we have anything else? Do we have any questions?
Yes. I have something else to share that you had shared with me. And so I'm going to share my screen. Lucy sent me this notice last night about Rakuten. So for those of you that have Rakuten, Macy's has a great sale, and it is going to be a holiday coming up. And always on these holiday weekends, all these stores have insane extra cashback deals on Rakuten and store sales. But look, here's this Labor Day sale, plus take an extra 20% off, and you're getting 15% cash back. And you will want to look on sites like Rakuten and also sites like Top Cashback. And it's kind of like a little bit of a Black Friday, right? Any holiday, sometimes there are some great cashback deals.
Nice. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that one. Yeah, I was looking at that Macy's, and I know you like a good Macy's deal.
Yeah.
I get frustrated. My daughter's birthday was right before we left for Europe, and I ordered something from Coco and Coco and Rose, maybe. Anyhow, it was a perfume my daughter had wanted, and they said it was shipping. And then I'm in the middle of Europe, and I'm like, I'm sorry, your perfume's didn't get to you in time. It was supposed to get to you way before your birthday. And then all of a sudden it was canceled and I'd been refunded. No explanation, nothing. That's why people get so frustrated when shopping online, because it's like, you failed me. You failed me for my daughter's birthday. We give her other stuff. We found some perfume in Rome, but it just doesn't make me want to shop there again. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to share this. I did know this, and thank you for mentioning it. Is Millennial Money Mom says a life hack: change your Rakuten redemption to Amex MR points for double the value. Yes, and it only works with American Express. So I have an American Express card, and Rakuten works and does this only with American Express. They don't do it with any other reward cards. So, in lieu of getting your fat cash check every quarter, instead, it just goes automatically as points onto your American Express card. So, I do that as well. I've been doing that for a year now, and it's great.
Nice. I have a question from Amazon, or from YouTube people. I'm going to read it. I don't know if we can answer it, but let's find out. I am a buyer I put it in the private chat too, if you want to see as well, Miss Tina.
Okay.
I am a buyer from a large corporation. Do they ever ask any of the sellers if they are compliant on the do not do business with list? Since we do business directly with the government, we have to be compliant with their rules saying that we cannot do business with somebody who does business with companies that deal with terrorism. Do you ever get asked those type of questions?
I've seen this before. Yeah, I've actually seen this before. I forgot what site I saw this on. Yes, so it had to do with being like a business buyer and selling on Amazon. So Amazon has for businesses, right, where companies that buy tape in case packs and things like that. And I want to say I saw it within this area where it had to do with government supplies, I think face masks for COVID. And so, these kind of companies are selling these in big, large quantities to government agencies, because of the pandemic at that time. And so, because they are contracted to working with the government and being compliant with dealing with the government, you have to say that you are compliant with not dealing with the terrorism. Like anyone would admit that anyway. But yes, this is an actual thing. I've seen this before.
I can't remember. Was there anything in onboarding in Amazon that?
No, and I wish I could it's been so long. I want to say it was over a year ago. I don't recall the company I was dealing with, but this was part of the thing. And I'm sure it was something I was buying as business bulk to resell that was an item like face masks that would be being sold to the government. It's because the government, that middleman, the government can't be associated, say, with an arms dealer who now was trading weapons with, Iran.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff we deal with is definitely not going to be problematic.
Yeah, so. But that cuckoo-ness is a real thing.
Yep. All right, so I got another question here. What if it's this is for a prepaid labels for return items that people want to be returned, and they ask about, do they need to do a prepaid label if it's a non-returnable item such as a grocery item? And the short answer is no, you do not. You can let your customer know that they bought a non-returnable item as per Amazon's policy, and that you are not going to give them a label to return the item. And let's differentiate here. There is a difference between returned and refunded. So if Tina buys a box of chocolates from me and Tina's not happy with her chocolates and she reaches out to me and says, can I return the item? Would you give me a return label? I can say no, per Amazon's policy. It's a non-refundable, non-returnable item. If she says, can you refund me? I can also say no, but then Tina could give me negative feedback. And I mean, that's always a risk with any customer out there. Customers get mad when they can't return stuff. Is there a discount code?
I don't think so, Nate. I think it's a fairly new app, and
What's
I
Marta?
just did a quick Google search for it. You can't even find a lot about Martyr, but I don't think so. I can investigate it later and let you know, but I don't think there is. Martyr is an app for Walmart sellers. It's kind of like what Scoutify was for Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. Excellent. All right. I have not. I know I've seen that. Now I got to go look it up again. What do you got going on?
Look, you were on vacation. You're still got vacation brain. That's okay. It's the weekend. You'll be ready and strong by Monday.
I don't know about that. Let's see. I thought I was doing really good. I talked to you yesterday, and then about 4 p.m, I crashed hard. I think all my coffee wore off, and I was just like,
Well, look, you have an 8-hour time difference that you've been on, so it's going to take some days to get it back together.
It took some days. I don't think we ever really adapted. It was bad.
I thought of you, Reno, just now because he's been on me about asking all of you to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help our channels. And I am truly the worst. And so is Lucy about trying to remember to tell you all.
Yes.
Share our channel, share our videos.
He says we're going to be going going in deep with Martyr on our next.
Yes, we are. We are going to, we're going to dedicate the whole show sourcing with Martyr. How does it work? How accurate is it? We're going to figure this Walmart thing out, y'all.
Well, that will be good. That will be good. I don't know. I got to decide if I'm going to go more heavy into Walmart or stick with just eBay, or
I think I'm going heavier into eBay because I'm already doing well with it. It's not where I need it to be, but it's churning along. The profit margins are just so fantastic with eBay. And I like it. I really like, I like it. It's fun. It's the sourcing for it is very, very fun to me. I am going to use Walmart as my secondary. So where prior Amazon was my primary, eBay was my secondary, I'm going to make eBay my primary, Walmart my secondary, unless, as I figure out Walmart, if it takes over the eBay, right? At this point in time, that's my strategy. And then, of course, I also have my clients, that I have to manage their Amazon advertising campaigns with them, meet with them biweekly, have team meetings, discuss their Amazon accounts, create their listings. So I also have an income stream with all of my consulting work that I do too. And and all of these things take up time, which then leads me back to, when am I going to make time to make that KDP shirt, right? But the thing is, it's hard when you like it all, right? Like I like them all for different things, and I enjoy it all. And I wish I could do more because I really want to be all in on all of them.
Yeah. I'll have to see. I don't know. I've got to get my 2 kids are getting ready to go back to school, and I got to do some thinking and see where I land. It'd be fun to see the difference between. Were you going to put that back up?
Oh yeah, and Data Sparks is just another sourcing thing like Martyr. Both of them are definitely, from what people tell me, I'm not speaking from experience, that they're also in kind of like the dinosaur stages of research and what we're given compared to tools that we have for Amazon like Keepa and things like that. But we got to start somewhere, and we will use it.
Yep. All right. Well, you've got Finance Friday. I've got to get my life together. I started fixing up my Trello board to try and get a handle on what needs to be done today. First and second, I got to do some cost of goods entering. My bookkeepers are yelling at me.
See? There you go. So you're going to join me on Finance Friday too. So for all of you out there, if you don't already have other plans, pick a day. If it's not today, but have a day that you do your finances. When you mentally know where you're at with your numbers and your money, when you're out, it really is empowering to you because it lifts a weight off of you. When you're out just spending all willy-nilly, you maybe have more to spend than you think. You maybe have less to spend than you think. You maybe need to be dialing it down. You really, really need to know where you stand in your business. Please focus on your numbers. Focus on where you're making the money, and can you do more of that? focus on what's costing you money that's not giving you the best return. Are you spending too much time over here with less return and a little time over here with a lot of return? Maybe you should flip-flop that. You don't know until you are looking at your numbers. And then when you also make that your day, that you sit and you make your phone calls to your doctor appointment, to your bookkeeper, to your lawyer, whatever it is, group all that kind of stuff together in one day. And then that way it's over with, it's off your plate, and you can focus on your business, your life. Knowing where you stand is so important. It's like walking into a clean house versus walking into a house where everything is chaotic and laundry and dishes and stuff is everywhere. It's like you can't think, you can't be productive when things are chaotic. That applies to your life, it applies to your business, it applies to your finances. So I really want to encourage you guys today to think about that and think about scheduling a day that you group task these kind of activities together. And with that, I'll get off my soapbox and tell you guys have a great weekend.
All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.